Cristiano Ronaldo hits 100. Luis Enrique believes in magic. Pugh goes pro. Terry to leave the bridge. And why you should never yell things at Timmy Howard. Good morning, everybody. I'm Darryl Grove, and you're listening to the hors d'oeuvre-licious feast of bite-sized soccer news that is the Goalmouth. It's Wednesday, April 19th, so a very happy birthday to Joe Hart, Hector Herrera, and, of course, James Franco. Up first, if you missed the Real Madrid versus Bayern Munich Champions League quarter-final game yesterday, you missed out on an almost classic. It finished 4-2 to the home team, Real Madrid, after extra time, giving them a 6-3 aggregate win over Bayern Munich. Cristiano Ronaldo got himself a hat-trick in that game, bringing his total UEFA Champions League goal haul to 100. He's the first man to hit a century. Most of those 100 goals weren't offside, but 2 out of his 3 yesterday very much were. And the only people happy with that are presumably Real Madrid players, Real Madrid fans, and maybe Meatloaf. Couple that with Arturo Vidal getting a second yellow card for what looked like a clean tackle on Asensio, and you can understand why Bayern coach Carlo Ancelotti was less than happy, saying, quote, "A quarter-final you have to have a referee with, I don't know, with more quality," unquote. Arturo Vidal was even more upset. Bayern's Chilean midfielder saying, quote, "When two big teams meet like this in the Champions League, such a robbery cannot happen," unquote. There was at least one nice moment in all this. Bayern's Xabi Alonso, who used to play for Real Madrid and will retire at the end of the season, stood in the centre circle, got an ovation from the Real fans at the Bernabeu in his final Champions League game. In yesterday's other Champions League quarter-final action, Atletico tied 1-1 with Leicester, going through 2-1 on aggregate. And in today's action, it's young Christian Pulisic and his Borussia Dortmund team travelling to Monaco for their second leg, trailing 3-2 from the first leg, which they were forced to play less than 24 hours after the bus bombing. According to Dortmund CEO Hans-Joachim Watzke, Monaco refused to let Dortmund reschedule that first leg for a week later. So I'm all in on supporting BVB in today's game. Also today, Barcelona will host Juventus at the Camp Nou and will start that game with a 3-goal deficit from the first leg. There are obvious similarities with Barca's famous comeback against PSG recently, and Barcelona coach Luis Enrique was all optimism in yesterday's press conference, saying, quote, "If we score the first goal, the second will be scored by the Camp Nou and the third will come by itself. Our objective is to score 5 goals. We have to attack, and when we relax a little bit, we have to start attacking again," unquote. That makes that game worth watching, but also challenge accepted, said Juve's defensive trio of Giorgio Chiellini, Leonardo Bonucci and Gigi Buffon. Both those games are 2:45 p.m. Eastern today on Fox Sports 1 and Fox Sports 2. College soccer news now, sort of. Mallory Pugh, the dangerously fast 18-year-old winger/forward, is leaving UCLA to turn pro. Pugh's college soccer stats are unimpressive. 0 goals and 0 assists. But that's because she played 0 minutes, being busy earning 22 caps for the US women's national team instead. If you're any sort of soccer fan, you don't need me to tell you about Pugh's talent and potential, and you'll know that competition for the teenager's signature will be strong. Right now, the Washington Spirit sit top of the NWSL distribution ranking order. So it's up to Pugh's preferred destination, the Portland Thorns, to make the Spirit an offer they can't refuse. Failing that, Pugh could cross the Atlantic and sign a deal with Lyon or PSG or maybe even Man City, but I'm guessing the NWSL will bend over backwards to make sure a big draw like Pugh stays here in the US. The real contest, and if we're honest, the real money, is with Pugh's endorsement deal. Now she's no longer a college athlete, Pugh is free to sign with either the swoosh of Nike or the stripes of Adidas, or maybe even the Puma of Puma. Whomever she chooses, Pugh's career is about to hit the kind of overdrive she usually unleashes on opposition defences, so look out. At the other end of the career spectrum, John Terry has announced that, like Patrick Stewart on an away mission, the captain is leaving the bridge. In an open letter to Chelsea fans, Terry said that after 22 years with Chelsea, this was, quote, "the toughest decision of my life," unquote. But the 36-year-old still has some regular football in him and wants to go and win headers and block shots somewhere else while he still can. First, a salute to John Terry on an illustrious Chelsea career. I won't even mention the incidents with Wayne Bridges' girlfriend or with Anton Ferdinand. Okay, I will a little bit because we shouldn't forget. But for all his many flaws, including a bad back and a now near criminal lack of pace, Some team will be lucky to have John Terry leading the charge from central defence next season, and I mean that sincerely. Also, what I'm hoping happens is Terry hands the armband to Gary Cahill and says, "You have the bridge, number 24. And finally, it seems somehow the news of Tim Howard's suspension and the MLS Players Union's response to that did not make it into a previous goalmouth, possibly because of a Sporting KC goalmouth conspiracy. But they didn't get to me, so here's a quick update. Colorado Rapids keeper Howard was banned for 3 games for swearing at Sporting KC fans behind his goal and for being involved in an unspecified altercation with a fan after the KC Colorado game a couple weekends ago. We all know Howard likes to yell, but the MLS Players Union came to his defence this week, arguing that it's Major League Soccer's responsibility to ensure a safe playing environment for players, which includes not letting fans get on the field beer in hand for post-match altercations. All I'll say is this, I love seeing passionate MLS fans, but please, please, please don't let MLS turn into a league full of drunk fans yelling abuse at opposition players, especially not World Cup heroes. I know the craft beer revolution is exciting and that a lot of IPAs have a very high alcohol volume, but please no more provoking national treasures like Tim Howard. Just cheer your team, don't yell at the opposition. I'll get down from my soapbox now because that's all from me. Taylor Rockwell will be with you tomorrow. You're in for a treat. Taylor's episode, always one of the best of the week. Top 5 for sure. I'll leave you with today's goalmouth top tip. Stay in school. Unless you're as good at what you do as Mallory Pugh is at soccer, then stay in school.